seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. New business, item number 1 is approval of TTL for a contract for hazardous material survey and inventory of the Tuscaloosa News Building. The total is $29,400. Welcome, Lee and Audrey.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir, we are seeking approval of a contract with TTL to perform hazardous material survey and inventory of any hazardous materials associated with the existing Tuscaloosa News Building prior to the demolition of the facility. This historical data will be useful and needs to be incorporated into the bid documents of the demolition package that is scheduled to be bid on August the 7th.
Lee, to educate me, whenever you're doing any type of demolition or you're doing anything with buildings and just in general, talk a little bit about the process of the why and what you're doing and why you have to do it.
Well, anytime deconstruction of an existing facility is scheduled to be done, it is just standard protocol to go into that existing facility and assess what hazards may be located inside that facility and make record of those, because there could be some hazards that can't go to just a normal landfill.
You also want to protect the people that are actually demoing the building. So you've got to know for safety for those workers that are coming in and taking out anything that might
What you're dealing with.
hazardous or, yes, absolutely. And then some of those materials may need to be remediated. And so this is just standard practice whenever you go to demo.
Question?
So I've got, I don't know if it's Audrey or Lee or maybe even Scott. So the actual council decision to demolish the building has not been made yet, correct?
Well, I guess in an official capacity, I think everybody has been very aware along the way about the fact that the building cannot be used for the new, what it's going to be today.
There's certainly a wide awareness
Yeah.
of the metamorphosis that's been moving forward, okay? But my question is technical.
Technically, no. We can't even begin negotiations on a contract for demolition until this step is done, and we know if they
So
find.
this is a precursor to even getting to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we'll bring that contract, once we have the bids in, we'll bring that contract to you guys, and that will be your moment to make the decision.
Okay. And Lee, when do y'all start and when do you finish?
They'll go in tomorrow, I think, if you guys approve it.
If it's approved today, TTL has made us aware that this assessment survey will take 3 days. So
Okay.
they want to start tomorrow
Not a months-long
and
process.
complete on Friday, and then it'll take them about a couple weeks to compile their report, and then their report will be included with the bid documents of the demolition package.
Okay.
So
And when are we, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that assessment was that short. So then are we looking at moving towards putting out the bid document ballpark when?
the pre-qualification and bid advertisement was posted yesterday. Bid documents will be made available end of July.
Okay.
There's actually a pre-bid scheduled for the 25th of July.
Okay.
And the project will bid August the 7th.
Okay. And then y'all will have 3 or 4, y'all will have some number of weeks, right, to review it internal to the staff and all the sections, and then it'll come to, once that bid's in, we've got, 60 days? We've got some finite number of days to go, okay, you got it, right?
40.
What is it, 45? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't have any other questions.
Lee, not totally 100% to this, but when we were talking, I think it's important that you guys have done a pretty good job, a very good job working with Audrey and the team, everybody, to keep us within our budget. That we feel at this point right now, pre-bidding and all this stuff, but we feel pretty confident we're still in a good spot with the budget, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we we have checks in place all throughout the entire design project that we will be making sure we are in that budget.
Questions, Mr. Lanier? We're
Make a motion. That's my
no, you
question.
don't have, your
That's my
question's
question.
a
Answer.
motion. I got a motion. and a second.
I second his question.
We got a motion, and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2, recommending bid award to Suncoast Infrastructure for the 2024 sanitary sewer rehab project. The total is $175,644. Brian, welcome.
Thank you. We opened bids for this on June 3rd. We had 3 bidders. Suncoast was the low bidder. What this project is it's a trenchless rehab of our sewer mains, so we don't have to dig the sewer main up and replace it. We can basically restore the lifespan of the pipe by,
Just want to
Put a
show
sock-
something in it.
yeah, they put a resin,
Yeah.
a fiber resin liner through it, and then cure it with steam. And like they invert it, then cure it with steam, and it hardens and it serves as the new pipe. So it's a cool technology. It's like I said, you don't have to dig up the
Didn't we
road.
do that right out front of the building here when we had to?
That's right. I think
Uh,
that one was actually a pipe burst too, which is like where you drag a bigger pipe through a smaller pipe, so it's a little different. But anyway, this is budgeted in our water and sewer special projects account. The price came in under the estimate, so feel good about that. Contract time is 90 days. Any questions?
Questions for Mr. Gurney?
I hate to show my ignorance, but I do. So the CMP liner item in the capital projects that we would propose, is this that?
You said CMP liner?
CMP liner,
This is for, that's for storm drain pipes.
storm drain?
And
The same technology.
Okay,
CMP is the type of pipe that we line, corrugated metal pipe.
okay,
Deteriorate.
I have no more questions.
Okay,
Motion.
good.
Second.
Motion. Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is authorization to submit a grant with AlDOT for the taxiway crack seal and seal coat project. The total, $571,622. Jeff, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We have completed the bid opening. We're now ready for the subsequent phases to initiate the grant award and issue the contract to the vendor to initiate this project. This is a pavement maintenance grant with AlDOT to provide crack seal and seal coat to 2 of our primary taxiways on the airfield. The grant amount is $571,622. The city's portion is $142,906. This is a 75-25% grant. This first request is requesting the ability to do the final grant application with bid numbers and allow us to do the grant award. And then our next agenda item will be to issue the contract once the grant award has been executed.
I'm getting multiple opportunities to reveal my ignorance. Sometime back, about 2 years ago, didn't we do the substructure of the runways? It was a big project,
We reconstructed the primary runway in 2021.
2021, so 2.5 years back. And if you reconstruct it, I'm not making that up, am I? Don't I remember talk about it didn't just need it to be resurfaced, that the substructure needed to be redone because the weight of the planes coming in now and the concentration of that weight, given the sturdier landing gear.
That's correct.
Okay, so we did the whole things then?
We did the whole runway, yes, sir.
Right. So what are we, taxiway,
This
correct?
is the parallel pavements next to the runway, yes, sir.
All right, I don't have any further questions.
Good history.
So we didn't do the taxiways at the time we.
No, sir.
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is authorization to tentatively award a public works contract with J.J. Cunningham LLC for the taxiway crack seal and coat project. The total is $462,931.50. Jeff?
This is our recommended vendor based off bid opening. Upon the execution of the grant we just discussed, we would like to go ahead and execute that contract with this vendor. They did do the previous pavement maintenance project. They did a great job, and we're very pleased that they provided the same numbers on this bid opening.
Is this number in budget? I mean, what is your expectations of what this should be?
Yes, sir. There's some history I gave yesterday on the scope of work that we did with AlDOT. They asked us to increase the scope of work because they have been seeing favorable numbers. And we were able to essentially get 2 grants into one because of the bids that were submitted.
Do more
Yes, sir.
work. We like that. You understand that, Commissioner Nelson, don't you?
I get it.
Yeah, I knew you
I'm
would.
agreeing with it.
Questions?
I'll make a motion.
Motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is approval of a right-of-way use permit for Adcox Gore Development for bollards. Mike Gardner, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so, this, Adcox Gore Development the address is 601 and 605 13th Street. It's, 2 existing structures, they're removing those and redeveloping, the area. We are about a block west of Hackberry, directly north of the railroad track on 13th. This request is,
Put that back up, please.
that letter?
Yep.
Okay, right, all right. So this is the way the right-of-way use permit request comes to our office in the form of a letter
Okay.
describing what that request is and then supporting documentation of that.
Mike, you need to work with Al on his signature. I don't think he signs it big enough.
All right, so the highlighted area in green is the subject of this right-of-way use request. And this is for placing bollards along the right-of-way or just south of the sidewalk on 13th. And this is a measure that's in the zoning code for prohibiting parking in the front yards. And this occurs on every development in this district. So this is an example of what's going to be placed.
What they're asking to do.
That is correct. That is correct. And obviously this right-of-way use permit puts the burden of repair and maintenance on the owner instead of the city. You know, it's a piece of infrastructure in the public right-of-way that they are being held responsible for.
Questions?
And the only way you can put something in the right of way is if it comes here, right?
That is right. That is the process. Yes, sir.
So they just want to put in a continuation of what's already going down 13th Street and those bollards, right?
That's
No difference
right.
in materials or setback.
That's right. And they are required to do that by our zoning code.
Right.
So-
Okay. The question I run into down there sometimes is occasionally you get cars veer off the road and drive through those and bend them down, and it's their responsibility to repair them, right?
That is correct. Yes, sir. And it's a
When I
code,
say there, it's the property owner.
and it's a code violation if they don't repair it. So that's our mechanism for making them
Okay.
take care of that.
So I know the 2 properties that's going up there, they've got them both leveled now.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And those I wouldn't have, that's not what I pictured when I read bollards, but,
It used to be years ago a chain and bollard, and there was a chain, and we've done away with the chain. It's now just.
but no, it seems to be working.
It does. Yes.
The
sir.
parking down there is much neater and more aesthetically pleasing. I don't have a problem with it. It's in my district.
Any other questions? Take a motion.
So move.
Moved second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6 is approval of right-of-way use permit to place a dumpster on 6th Avenue. Mike,
Wow. We just. Okay. All right, so we're at the same location. This is this development is at the southwest corner of 13th and 6th Avenue. Same development we just talked about. And this right-of-way use permit request is for a dumpster enclosure. So,
Oh, can you put that back up just a sec?
Yeah.
You know you can't see that.
Yeah, I can. Okay,
so basically that's describing what.
so there was a previous one there under Rock Point,
Yeah, and
and
that's.
they've had to tear it down to build what they're gonna build?
Well, so that dumpster was part of the Rock Point development that was approved by the city in 2012. At the time of that approval, the right-of-way, that dumpster sat partially in the public right-of-way and partially in the city right-of-way, along with the parking spaces along the west side of 6th Avenue. We no longer allow
For
parking.
parking spaces along the west side, okay.
Yeah, just, there's a row of about 11
Yeah.
or 12 parking spaces from where you see that car
Okay.
headed north up to the intersection there at this development. So all of that was approved in 2012 with the Rock Point 513, I think was the name of it. Partially in the right of way and partially not. With this new development that they're starting, they are dedicating the proper right of way to place all of the parking and the sidewalk within the public right of way. And that's what we want them to do.
It's public parking then, correct?
It is. That's right. It's public parking. It can't be reserved.
Can't be reserved
Cannot,
or,
cannot be reserved. So what we're doing today is going through the formality of placing a right-of-way use permit for this trash enclosure. The letter that you read gave a pretty reasonable description. The LDP documents are on my desk for review at this point in time, but they are going to replace the gates that you see there and make this a much more decorative or attractive enclosure.
the gates.
Yeah, that's two little chain link gates, for lack of a better word.
Right in front of you.
Right there in front
The
of you.
black ones.
So you got-
Oh,
yeah,
the gates to the,
yes. So the trash enclosure is required to have a
let's
gate.
do recon.
A gate so that you don't just see the dumpsters
Okay.
all the time. They're going to redo or reskin that split face block with brick to match the structures that they're going to build. So we're going to have a much more attractive trash enclosure. at
Roughly
the end of
same
the-
size?
Right, and again, the major purpose of this is to place the responsibility of long-term maintenance on the developer or landowner.
So is this going all the way down to 13th Street,
Yes, sir.
the public parking?
Yes, and yes, sir, it's already there. Let me get to a slide. There's an overhead view, and the star is placed where
It
the,
doesn't go all the way to 13th here.
well, it goes as far as it's
That's fine.
supposed to
Good
go.
enough,
That's a
good
curve.
enough.
Yeah, we have requirements that parking can't get close to the intersection.
So what's going here?
These are gonna be triplexes.
Triplexes,
Yes, student housing, triplex.
3 floors each with 5 beds each floor.
12 beds per building. There's 2 buildings, 12 beds per building.
So 3 floors, 4 beds
Right.
per floor. Okay, and they'll have, what parking do they provide? Because that public parking's not theirs.
There is a diagram. It's probably not the greatest, but there, and it only shows the eastern building in this. But they're building a parking lot behind both of the structures that they're going to develop. And there'll be, I think it's 19 parking spaces behind the building, and then they get to count a portion of the parking spaces in the public right-of-way by code.
What portion?
50%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 11 there, they count 5. and they've got 19, so that's 24, that's your
That makes
12,
yes,
12
they're-
beds per. And the garbage is, so there won't be city garbage pickup there? It'll be handled by that dumpster?
So the dumpster serves the 513 Rock Point property. It is for the development across the street. These two triplexes will use.
Oh, the dumpster is for what's over here?
Yes, sir.
So what's going on here?
They're going to use our regular garbage carts, which is allowed, and ESD's already okay with that. They'll have, I think, 3 garbage carts per building, and they have to be behind an enclosure that's not visible to the street. And just like everybody else, they bring them out on trash day and put them back.
All right. Okay,
Any questions?
Any other
I
questions?
don't think so.
Okay.
Make a motion.
You got it?
Nah, he covered it all.
All right, motion, second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6 is approved. Counselor Wilson is not here. Is Karen Jackson here? Or LaPerry, are you going to talk about this?
Well, Perry, I sent you a note, I don't know, a week or so ago. Is this about that?
No.
I don't know what this
Why
is
not?
about.
Well, we have a lot of questions.
I don't know what this is
We
about.
should table this.
But I can give an update as far as how many youth are actually in the program. There are 45 currently, and we are actually, we've been in discussion with the Tuscaloosa City Schools to get $10,000 to get at least 4 or 5 more students. But what you were talking about, I emailed you earlier to have a discussion, further clarification from the city attorney and human resources. The
Okay.
internship position.
Yes.
Yeah.
To have what, a discussion?
Further discussion for clarification on the challenges we may encounter.
Okay, we'll have that further discussion somewhere else now.
But as far as, my understanding was Karen Thompson Jackson was gonna be here to give us a summer jobs update, and Counselor Wilson's not here, so.
I'll make a motion, we table for 1 week until
I think
those
that's
two
a
are
great
here.
idea.
2 weeks.
Motion, and did you second it?
Yes, second.
Second, any
Second with an
discussion,
extra
all in
week.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Committee members, this is not on the agenda, but what we've all been waiting for is a visit from one of our favorite Tuscaloosa County Commissioners.
One
Which is
of.
Mark.
Would you say one of?
Bring us commissioner.
Which is
I brought
Mr.
some
Mark
with
Nelson, who brings us greetings and a proposal. Welcome, Commissioner.
Yes, I
Not yet.
am. Chairperson Frank, can we
Yes.
get a motion and a second to suspend the rules?
Absolutely, a motion to suspend the
Second.
rules. Got a second?
So moved.
Now.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The rules are suspended,
But now I think
especially for
wait,
you.
Now I think you have to make a motion
A motion to
about me
put
being
this-
here. So,
Now you do that.
He's done this before.
Exactly.
that's
right.
technically the way you're supposed to do it.
Okay, I want to make a motion
See, I
to,
do Robert's Rules of Orders on the side.
yeah,
It's
a
not
motion
problem.
to hear a report and a.
I'll make a
ask the
motion that
Commissioner
Councilman Nelson
Nelson,
be allowed to present.
there's,
Second.
and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now we're good?
We gotta be a sticker for rules, I apologize
You know, I love
for that.
listening to y'all. I was thinking that, I thought that was Bo Larder that was earlier, Mike, like something to cook with, Lord. I didn't know what a bolander was, but now I have learned something.
Y'all don't have those in the county?
We don't have bolanders,
Y'all have
but I now know what they are, so I think that's great to have, and I might start, bollards. I might start a new bollard thing, I don't know, this is maybe coming in the county. So, thanks for letting me take the time to talk to you guys today. I'm here talking about Shelton State. I know I've talked to the mayor a few times because when we're at 911, he's kind of like captured and I can talk to him and he can't get away until he says, oh, I've got this meeting I've got to go to right away. But anyway, so I've talked to him a few times about this. I talked to Norman about it. What we're looking at is Shelton State, as you know, it's owned by the ACCS, the Alabama Community College System. My sorry attempt at a blue highlighter around the edge is the road that circumvents, that goes all the way around Shelton to the Fire College and back around out to the front. And what I was asked was to try to put something together to help them pave that, because, I don't know the last time it was paved. I can't remember when it was paved. It's probably the original pavement, honestly, from when it was built, I'm not sure. But it's in horrible condition. As we all know, Shelton is used for so many things. Not to mention our students locally, but there's a lot of folks that come in. You know, we have someone here today from the fire college that would attest to, they're coming from all over the country. You know, we want to have a facility, I think, that we can all be proud of. So if you look at the blue wrap there, we looked at what it would cost to pave that entire area with the county's annual bid that we have with Bunn. To build it and pave it, the cost is $292,000. Fire College has agreed to put up 50, and Shelton State through the ACCS is given 50 as well. So there's 100. So my ask of you is that as partners with Shelton and community partners as well, that we would split that remaining difference and contribute to that paving job so that, you know, Shelton State and everything it represents can be something that we're proud of. I'll also say, because I'm not a very good politician, really, and I lay my cards on the table, Bunn was already down there. They mobilized Friday, and they've already paved half the road. Okay, so I'm not asking you for something that I won't put my own money into.
Half the money that you're asking?
Yes, right. So,
how much is that?
You know, it's what half of, I think, 96,000 would be half. And again, that's our bid. I think it's a little bit lower than maybe it could be done if we were doing it another way. But you know, the commission has approved me using the paving budget from my district to do this. So we're good to go. We would just love for y'all to be a partner in this with us. I think it's an important thing. You know, it's not something I asked for lightly. I understand that, you know, $100,000 is $100,000. There's a lot you can do with it, but I do think it's an investment. We all, everywhere, every person we represent, every area we represent, somebody has been touched by Shelton, either by work or training or education. So I'd love to have you guys support that. I'm also going to bring up one more. You may go ahead and bring the other up or
You
not?
can, but why don't we?
I don't know how you want to handle it. This is the ask, so you handle the ask. If you
Yeah,
want.
you go on and.
Well,
bring
what
your
else I
ask,
was gonna
because
say
I was
was-
gonna ask Mike Garner to come up.
Yeah, and Mike can test
After
this.
you
And this
do
was
that.
something that was just an add-on. It's not anything that Shelton is asking for or the fire college either. If you look at the dark blue coming in and the dark blue section in front of Shelton, as you know, this is all the city limits of the city of Tuscaloosa. Those are city roads, Mayhinton Boulevard that comes in there, and the section of Old Greensboro that's blue, that's right in front of the school. That's all city. And so we have paved Old Greensboro on either side multiple times. The area in between is frankly looking pretty rough. I have some pictures that I gave Norman if he wants to pass them around, just that I took riding down the road in my truck. But
Good pictures, by the way.
there's a lot of alligator cracking on Mayhinton. There are many, the surface is degrading in several spots. There have been cuts across Old Greensboro. I don't know where it stands in your paving budget. I mean, you guys do things differently than we do on paving budgets as far as that goes and how you do that. I don't know. I don't even really know, Cash, is this your district? See, I don't even know who claims it. I never really get that. I never really answer. So,
Down there.
but anyway, it's a road that if it was our road, I would have paved it long ago. It's quite needy, and I realize it's not in the center of the city of Tuscaloosa, but yet out on the Lasso annexation. That's the second time I've used that word in 2 days, Mike. You know, yesterday at the other meeting, but you know, it really needs to be addressed. To me, it's a shame to fix the whole road of Shelton and the roads on either side of it, and then have the gateway to Shelton look like something that, you know, is not indicative of Tuscaloosa. Okay, so I looked at that under our annual bid as well, and so I got my engineer to get us a cost for that. So the cost to do that is $187,000. Now that seems high relative to maybe the paving of the road around Shelton, but you can't tell that. But it's a 4-lane divided road. It's not a 2-lane road. There's lots of striping, and a lot of striping in front of the school as well.
Did you say, I want to make sure, Commissioner, I
Yeah.
understood that correctly, that to pave Old Greensboro from Shelton back to where?
To 69.
To 69, that's a pretty long way.
And Old Greensboro to Old Greensboro, the gap there in front of the school includes that as well. So,
And so Mayhinton from Shelton to 69.
correct, yeah. It's
It's
a pretty good.
187.
187, that includes the milling that needs to be done, and it includes the striping as well. And
And you're,
especially in front of the school, there's a lot of striping.
and you're offering the county just do it under y'all's current
Yes.
contract, and we just reimburse
Yeah,
y'all.
That is the offer. And now I will say, and I realize, timing
Normally,
is,
y'all's contracts are cheap, are better priced than ours.
it's what I'm told. Mike could run the numbers and tell if that's true or not. I don't know. That's what they always tell me.
Maintain more things.
Mr. Gardner, is that
And I don't know, and I didn't bring Scott with me, but the other thing is they are mobile. I know they're mobilized down there now. This isn't me saying it's got to be done while they're mobilized. It does kind of make sense if there was a way to get it done. But then again, I'm also asking you to pull $187,000 from wherever.
Take it from Mr. Crow's district improvement.
I think it would make sense.
a motion.
And I wish I could address
I wish
that.
I got it right
if you want to, so.
Let me just start out by saying that we already had May Hinton and Greensboro programmed in 2025. We looked at it yesterday, and quite frankly, it is pretty rough. Probably should have been in this year's resurfacing. So I agree with the commissioner that this is something that we need to address, work some partnership out with the county to do this.
We wanted to do the May Hinton in Greensboro, what I would suggest, since you, and Ms. Andrews, correct me if I'm wrong, you've approved my paving recommendation on a committee. It hadn't
We
been
did the
approved by the
3.5 million
It's been approved by.
paving.
We could separate out that 187, deduct it ultimately when the council adopts it, and then have that go to a funding contract with the county for the paving of those two roads. And if the council wanted to add Shelton, then you could add that amount as well. So you'd subtract the total of 187 plus 96, which would get you to what, 283? You would reduce 283 from the overall amount.
Maybe we find some more money somewhere else.
So I'm gonna make sure I'm clear. Either we would be looking at adding to the paving currently proposed in the capital projects, or juggling a project already in there timing wise. I assume not whether to do it or not, but timing wise, or coming up with more money.
So
I think if expediency is the goal, which I sense it is, tonight, assuming council authorization, then we just then move forward, or we do something, suspended rules tonight authorizing that the city attorney move forward with an agreement with the county for the paving of those three roads. That would probably give the commissioner, enough assurance to go ahead and let Bun know they can
Move forward
while they're out there.
Mark, would you be comfortable without us suspending the rules if we pass it out of committee?
I'm sorry, council, this is just on suspended rules today. So OCA hasn't looked at whether or not this piggybacking is even a legal procurement method we can use.
Okay.
Because this just like within the last
You mean for
15
Shelton State?
For Shelton, piggybacking through the county's contract, it may be, but we need some time to research that.
So y'all are not holding up whether to do this or not.
I'm not holding up the Shelton loop. I am saying that the mobilization is there to go ahead and get the May Hinton done. That's where the time.
Scott, we've done agreements like this reimbursing the county for paving. I think we've done that before, haven't we?
Can I say something?
I'm sure maybe we have, but I would like to check on
I
procurement.
know.
It's just got sprung on us today. So
We love springing stuff on Zach. The thing is this, I'm comfortable enough to tell you this, that I think your bigger question may be, and the mayor asked me this question, we don't own the roads in Shelton, the city does it. These are ACCS roads, so we're paving private roads. That may be a more procurement question for you, I think, than using our bid to pave your road, just to clarify. So
That was my next question. Who owns these roads? Well,
yeah, I mean,
Shelton's
the city owns,
responsible for that, right?
the May Hinton.
They own.
They own those roads, but May Hinton and Old Greensboro are clearly city of Tuscaloosa roads.
But the county is able to pave those private roads.
We are. We pave school roads, we do all kinds of stuff, as being a subdivision of the state, we can do that. So, I mean, we do things backwards with y'all all the time. You can do things that we can't, and so we enter into a contract with you to do it that way.
But I think the first issue that you discussed both of them gotta have further, they gotta be looked at further to say we can or can't do this, but I think that was the pressing one. We already know that the other one is gonna be on the paving list in the next, period of time.
It is true.
But we need to look at both of those, Mark, we need to try to see if we can get them done.
I will tell you that I'm not telling you that I can pave them for 187 if you will.
Yeah,
I realize that you've got them on a
Because
25.
you'll have a new number.
But I think your number will be substantially higher than
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
So I hate to
Agree
miss
with
saving, you might save enough paving May Hinton with our bid to cover what you spent on Shelton. And I don't know that that's
Yeah.
totally accurate, but it may
Could
not
be.
be too far off the line. So
But it could be.
I
So,
don't mind helping them, Mr. Crowe, if it's legal, I guess that's the only
Yeah.
question.
so,
It's private property.
Could we ask and then, could we then have OCA do a legal review, come back to this committee next week? And then if it is affirmative, if the city does have the legal authority with Shelton, May Hinton, and Old Greensboro, then double that up on council.
could
I think that's fair. That's what I was gonna ask. He's gotta have time to review this.
is there a way to approve it? Now, this is, lawyer talk now. Is there a way to approve it contingent on the approval so that we don't have to come back here? Could you approve it contingent on approval by, I'm sorry, what's it called? OCD?
Office of City Attorney.
Oh, yeah, that, Bobby didn't know. So, I don't know, it may not be possible. I'm just trying to I've got them down there, and I realize this is all cramming on you guys, but I don't want, if they pull out and finish before.
Well, I would say unless legally we can't do something, I mean, our word right here, we're gonna tell you, I think we're gonna do it. Right?
I'm good with
Council,
that.
I mean, I don't,
Except for, I'm gonna do something either way. I'm just talking about
Let's
May.
not smash it through.
yeah, but unless he tells us legally we can't, I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't do it. But that's,
It's all on you, Scott.
And if we wanna add it to council agenda next week, OCA will obviously make this a priority and look at it in the intervening time. And I can have an answer pre-council or back at projects, as the mayor mentioned.
I think we're gonna have to have that answer, Mark, to give you 100%. But I mean, unless they object to it, I think the council's gonna do it.
I make a motion that's come back to this committee next week to be doubled up onto council that evening for a vote pending OCA approval.
Second.
Any discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, one more thing. We have somebody here from the fire college that wanted to thank you and say something about it. She didn't get the opportunity. It's my fault because I spoke too much. If you please let her do that, I would appreciate it.
We just wanted to thank you for considering this. Our campus in Tuscaloosa, most of our students are from out of state, so it does make an impact when they drive in. And we just appreciate your help in doing this. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it is the original pavement job, so it does need to be done. We're thankful for the county and for the city for considering it.
Thank you. All right. Any other business to be brought before this committee?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We got a motion to adjourn, a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.